So I thought I'd do an update again on the 24 volt system. It seems to be performing quite well. It's now fully charged and you hear it pulsing quite loudly. I thought Doug would shut up. Yeah, it pulses a bit louder than it used to. There's probably more pulse amps coming through with the higher voltage. And the specific gravity has gone up to where it should be. So that's good too. That's as close to 1.28 as we'll get. Yeah, that is 1.28 on the older battery, so that's pretty good. I'll just plug in a multimeter. I've already checked how equal the batteries in the bank are, and they seem to be doing reasonably well. There's not much of a voltage difference between the two strings of 12. Yeah, sometimes it'll hit 14.7 as it's pulsing away. Try this one. See if it stays. Yeah, maybe 0.2 or 3 of a volt slightly higher during the pulses, but not that much of a difference. I'll just have to keep monitoring it to see how it gets on. This cell here, this is on the newer battery, and they all seem to be at the same gravity, so that's pretty good. I'll just have to put on one of my bike batteries on charge and see how it gets on. See if I could charge it 800 watts, just see how it does. So I'll talk a bit about how my bike batteries are actually constructed. We've got the casings there, and there's just 6 5-cell 5 amp hour LiPos inside there. Now, you have to be careful with the connections. This connects the two 15 amp hour batteries inside up in series, so we've just got 3 of them, then 3 of them, and so you've got 18.5 volts here, 18.5 here, then the connector in the middle here just goes across and goes in series to give you 37 volts, and you've got the balance ports to the two 18.5 volt 15 amp hour batteries in there. So all you have to do is just plug in your balance cables. So I'll go and find them just now. You have to be careful here because you cannot plug in the 2 balance cables while the jumper connection is in, as this will short them, as this will short out, because you can't have series and parallel at the same time. So this must come out, and as you can see, I've made that mistake numerous times. It's all kind of been blasted with high voltage, so they just all connect up in parallel. Can I do this one-handed? Yeah. Then this just goes in here. A bit struggling for length here, but we'll manage. Then this just goes to the charger. So now they're all in parallel. As you can see, everything's just Deans and bullet connectors. That's all there is to it, really. And they just go in there like that. So now this is acting as one big 18.5 volt 60 amp hour battery, and now we're going to try and charge it with this. The problem is though, when the solar charge controller starts pulsing, the pulses can go over 32 volts, and then this thing starts complaining. So we'll go high power charge. And we need to set the charge rate right up pretty much as high as it can go. I've never done this before, so I don't know what's going to happen. Let's hope it doesn't explode. Like 40. Right, I was flying my plane today and I've charged to 4.15 per cell, so for my bike batteries I want them to last long, so it's 4.07. Right, and now we need to also change the power supply. because we're running on 24 volts. So battery. And just go back. And then we just wait for it to ramp up the current, so it takes a while to do that. So that's a decent voltage there, and that's after a 10-mile run down to Flying Club and back. Right, so the current's starting to ramp up quite high now, getting pretty close to 40 amps, so these 12 gauge output wires are beginning to heat up a little bit. It should be okay though. So let's see what amps are pulling from the batteries. Thirty-three amps. Yeah, so 34 just say, so 34 times 24.9, which is what the batteries are at just now, equals 846 watts. That's how much the charger's pulling. Still though, it could go a bit higher. It takes a maximum of 40 amps, so should be getting a little bit more power than that, but I think that was maybe at 32 volts. The charger does take 10 to 32 volts, but it does say in the instructions that you can only get the full 1000 watts at 32 volts. I don't have any 32 volt power supplies. But interestingly enough, the battery's at almost 40 amps anyway. Yep, and that's getting pretty toasty. So I might take the current down a bit. Yeah, things are beginning to heat up. But it's just to prove that I could do it. I think 25 amps will do there. The internal resistance readings on this charger tend to be all over the place, and I don't trust them really. So 0.3 milliohms for all those batteries in parallel, but it goes all over the place. I've no idea what their internal resistance is, but I'd imagine it would be quite low. And bear in mind the solar panels are also helping us here today. I just need to figure out a charging solution for my 12 volt battery. I was using this small regulator here, but it was getting roasting hot, so I might have to strip it apart and put a big heatsink on it. But everything seems to be going quite well. I'll just need to get the water cooling loop sorted out so we can water cool the controller, especially when summer comes. It's hardly warm just now. But anyway, that's all stuff for the future. This air conditioner will need to be run on 24 volts as well. Just connect all the peltiers in series rather than parallel. Shouldn't be too difficult. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found that interesting.